So this is where the change.
This is where the change comes in. Yeah, the whole positive. The full change. Like in one night, everything for me just took a like full spin.
At a movement.
Yeah. Let's go.
Hey, looking like he shot the ball.
That's what I like, bro.
Yeah! Me and my friend so on.
Let's go. Welcome to Talking Trophies. I'm your boy Rayvo. We're back with another.
Oh my days. You gotta introduce us later, bro.
Alright.
I'll see Ego. Right?
Let's go. Welcome to Talking Trophies. I'm your boy Rayvo, and we're back with another banger. We're joined by my boy Wiebo over here. What are you saying, Wiebo?
I'm back again.
He's back. He took a little break, but he's back. Before we jump into the video, make sure you guys do subscribe, like. You know, we're putting the content out frequently, so make sure you guys show some love for the consistency we're proving. Today, we got two special guests. We're doing a unique episode. We're doing an episode on clothing. You know, these guys are up and coming, and they showed massive potential at the Ego Expo a couple weeks ago. And, you know, we had to bring them on board. We got Matthias, also known as Senpai.
Yes, sir. Thanks you for having me, my bro.
Thanks for jumping on, man.
Really
we appreciate you
that.
being on, and we can't wait to talk more. And we got Ron, also known as Ron, the founder of Immortal Fate.
Thank you for having me, brother.
How you feeling, boys?
I'm nervous. First podcast, you know?
Yeah.
You
did the mini one at Expo, didn't you?
Hey?
The mini podcast.
Yeah, but that was chill.
Yeah?
That was more so just like, you know, like a 2-minute thing.
Yeah.
And then you bounce. But,
Yeah.
you know, first proper podcast.
Yeah, we'll probably make you feel comfortable and just talk, man. Matthias, how you
Honestly,
feeling,
I'm camera shy, but for the fact of it is like, just don't imagine the cameras. Just have a conversation.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm
think,
approaching it.
You know what is good about this episode too? I think because we got 3 clothing brands and you guys can talk about what you do. And it's
we know each other too, so it just makes it that little bit easier.
I thought it would be good getting these two boys on because they showed me mad love. I met them at the VIP night that Ego ran for us. They seen I did the runway and they came up, showed love. And we just vibed. We've been talking on Insta. The chat going.
It's a little bit different, you know what I mean? But like, honestly, like even for the first night, what attracted me was like your pieces. They were unique. Like I've never seen pieces like that because, people have the normal shirts, pants, accessories, and everything, but something with a twist that really captured my eye. And then when I met you, I was like, oh man, this guy is really, like, he's really passionate about what he's doing. But second of all, it was like he has a personality. It's not just he's not out there to make the money or chase the fame or whatever, but he's just out there putting out his stuff. And Ronnie too, like when I met him, he was the youngest person there, and to look at someone that's younger than you at the same time is a bit inspiring because of the fact that for him to have that mindset and be surrounded by grown-ups pretty much means you're ahead in yourself and your mindset, you know?
Yeah, that was insane too. We'll definitely talk about that more, bro, like, as we go into this episode, bro, because like that's, bro, 15 years old you started your
This guy's the youngest and he's got the oldest clothing brand out of all of us.
Out of all of us, yeah.
That's crazy, man. But we'll start off with Wiebored, man. Tell us a little bit about Wiebo. You know how you started the clothing brand. You know you are part of the Talking Trophies team, and we were over the moon when you got the award for best upcoming brand. You know, and it was a pleasure recording behind the scenes, even though my camera
work, I don't know how it went.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
I hooked you up to the media pass, but it didn't do much media.
I know, bro.
We live and learn. You missed the award as well.
I went home to take a nap.
Hey, but unreal, man. You live and learn.
Yeah, 100%. Hey,
real.
and I helped you out with the sales too. Hey, give me some credit for that.
Salesman, killed it.
But tell us a little bit about when you started. I remember you were chucking ideas at us during COVID. And you know, you were telling us about it, and like, bro, to see a launch, and you know, I had the privilege of watching it firsthand. Tell us a little bit about like why you did it, what's going on with it, and what can we expect?
Oh well, initially, like from the start, I really just wanted to make clothes because I had free time. I had nothing to do. I just graduated uni. Like I still didn't have a proper job yet, so I was just had time, and that was when the first lockdown first hit. Right, so I was like to my mom, "Oh, can you teach me how to sew? Like, let me just learn a skill, do something." Because I was always into my clothes. I like it, and I can make these whatever I want. Pretty much, you get the freedom to do whatever you like if you're making your own clothes. So I started just getting random materials from Spotlight, and I started making a few jumpers, shorts, stuff like that. And then I found a few pieces with this tapestry material in the US, and I couldn't get them. They were selling it in like 2 minutes. Plus, shipping from US is like crazy. I hate it.
Yeah, expensive.
Shipping from everywhere is
overseas. Any overseas is just like a
Too
massive
much,
stitch.
But especially during the pandemic too, would have been insane.
Would have taken forever as well.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, let me like actually look up. Like now I've learned how to sew. Let me try something harder. Let me try this material. So I went on Google. I started looking up how do these people do it? How do they do it? And I found out that they make blankets, and then that design comes in, cut and sew it, do it together, whatever. So I said, I'll try it out myself. So I made a bunch of pieces just like by myself, just for my personal collection. I put a few videos on Instagram, and a few of my friends liked it. I made a few for them, and I was just doing it for fun. I kind of like half-assed looked into it, being like, oh, like, can I make money out of it? Can I make a business? And I was like, oh, it's too expensive. That's what I thought at the start. So I kind of like put it on I said, let me focus on getting a job.
You didn't really have that push.
Yeah, I still was like, I went to uni for 4 years. Like, let me actually try and find a job. So I started focusing more on that. And then my boy Jay, I love you, Jay. You're the one that started all this.
Shout out to Jay, the unbelievable salesman.
Huge love.
But Jay, he's been wanting to make a business, like an online business, for ages. And he came to me. He said, look, you're like, I see like crazy potential. Like your creative side is like amazing. Let me help you. Let me like find the suppliers for us so we can make it profitable. Let me just help out pretty much. Do the stuff so that we can make this a good business. And so then we found a good supplier. We started making it. Did a few not drops, like a few samples, seeing what we decided what we want to do. And then about 2.5 months ago, just before Christmas, we did our first drop, and it turned out good. We did like the Ego hit us up just before the drop, and that's what before I even did the drop.
So straight into it. It took no time. They said, I'm in.
And that's why I was like, I had a small booth at Ego. I was like, it was kind of tiny, but I was like, I don't even know. Like they're telling me to spend this much money on a booth, and we hadn't even sold nothing yet. Yeah. So like, I was like, oh, why not? Let's see how it goes. You know, good networking. They did a video call with us, and like kind of sold us on it, and being like, you know.
But it was a push to just try something new and just get out there.
I kind of knew like we should do it. Yeah. Because it'll be good exposure like from them and that. But yeah, like everything that's came with that is crazy. Like meeting a bunch of people, like even just the networking. If we didn't make much sales, just the people, you meet people, you bounce ideas, like you learn new stuff, and just...
A quick shout out to Mel too, because honestly, if it wasn't for you, crazy. None of this would have happened.
No, the whole Ego team, man. Honestly,
and the whole team. Shout out.
That was an insane event. Man.
Organization was impeccable. Everything was amazing, and I think all three of us really enjoyed it. Yeah, for sure.
Even the people that came there, even myself, man, like someone that was just attending, bro. Just
something very different. I feel like the energy that was there was very, I guess, safe. It was very safe for creatives and creators and business owners and everyone that was willing to put themselves out there to be around. Whereas obviously social media is just social media, and it's just like we're bombarded by judgments top to bottom. But having that safe space, being able to just talk, communicate, and at the same time network, that was a really good.
Everyone was so supportive. Like all the other brands, like coming around saying like, "Oh, how you going?" Like just meeting them, even if they're doing something completely different. Not even the clothing brands. Like I know the sticker people, they came around. Like had a crazy chat with them for ages. Like all of these different brands, just meeting people, and like you get inspiration from them. You see people doing successful as well, and you're like, wow, I want to be like that. Especially starting off. Like I sent a message to Mel after, and I was like, bro, for us, this is like the best start off to a business that I could have imagined pretty much, and it's like down to them. So shout out to Ego,
shout out to Mel, Ego Expo.
Honestly,
Matthias, I think we'll jump over to you, man.
Yes, sir.
Because I knew you before Senpai started.
Way before, when it was just a nickname.
Yeah, it was just a nickname, bro. Just your was it your Instagram name? I don't even like it was just. I just knew you like that, you know.
Yeah.
And I knew you before you started the brand, and like, bro, even you saw my reaction to seeing you.
Yeah, it was a bit.
I saw you on the Sunday. I was like, yo, I was over the moon to see you, bro. Yeah. Because I've seen you before this whole brand started. Do you want to talk a little bit about that before you got into this brand? Yeah. And how this brand like had such an influence, a positive influence on you. Yeah. And you could even see from the reactions of people when they see you there.
Yeah.
Just like, oh my God,
shocking. Yeah.
It's not even shocking. It's like a proud thing. You know what I'm saying? When you're seeing someone doing that good, you know, someone you know, and you seeing him like, bro, cause I was over the moon, bro, when I saw you, bro. You saw me, I was over the moon. I'm saying, what's
Happy,
up,
yeah.
guys, bro? I was happy for you. You know
It's
what I
that
mean?
love. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about before you started Senpai
Okay.
and the positive impact it's had on you.
Okay. So pretty much I came to Australia at 2013. I came and I moved in with my family, my sister, my mother, and my stepdad. So originally I was born and raised in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. I grew up in Canada for a couple of years before coming to Australia. And what happened was, due to family breakdown and family reasons, I ended up being homeless at 2015. So at that age, I was 15 years old. So I kind of mixed around with the wrong crowd, as you might say. So being raised in a Christian family and finding myself homeless at 15 years old, I kind of had anger and not hatred, but I guess I was just lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what was
happening? You know, you're not where you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, you should be somewhere else.
Exactly.
It's like just deep down. It's like, yeah.
But then it's just like you kind of would have some type of an anger towards yourself and towards the situations and the circumstances that led you there. So pretty much I just kind of went on a very long path of just being mixed around with the wrong crowd. I guess doing things that deep down in my heart I knew was not right, but at the same time I had the excuse of just being angry at the world and, just making up those stupid things, like stupid excuses like, oh, nobody loves me, or I'm here by myself, and yada, 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 which kind of just led on to, obviously, dealings with the police, dealings with other people. And what ended up happening was pretty much throughout these years, I never lost myself. I kept myself away and put on this persona and attitude towards the people that I interacted with to make myself tougher or to make myself stronger. And it was a survival tactic in a way. But deep down, I knew that was not me, So every time I would hang out with these people, the conversations that they would have, at the start, it kind of did excite me because it was brand new and I was kept away from the world until I was homeless. So I was exploring all of this stuff and just pretty much being distracted by friends and music and the things that we see on social media. Obviously, the hustle for money never stops, you know what I mean? Like, especially being 15 years old, you have to make money in some type of way to survive. So that kind of led me being obviously involved with the police. And I think my pinnacle point was around 2018. Just before that, like on that new year, I had an apartment with my friends and we were throwing a party. And what happened was I drank up so much, like fireworks was going off. I felt sick and I just ended up vomiting in the toilet. And I spent probably like 30, 40 minutes in the toilet with my head inside the toilet. And I'm just like, I just started like questioning myself. I was like, what am I doing? Like, who are these people that I'm surrounding myself with? And at that point, it must have been like 3 or 4 years since I became homeless. So I was reflecting on my time and I'm like, what have I actually achieved that's so meaningful in my life? And the friends that I had obviously were not the best of friends. The accomplishment that I could say was accomplishments were not really accomplishments at all. So I just kind of felt like I was robbing myself of time and my energy. And I feel like I was like, you could do better, And the trick is I didn't know where to go from that just because I didn't have any positive role models in my life to look up to or to be guided by. The only thing that I have had experience with was older people. And one thing that I have realized is that half of these people are like 20 to 30 years old and they're doing the same things that I'm doing. And in a way, they're really not doing anything meaningful in their life or to themselves, to their community, or to their people, to their family, or to anyone that's around them. So obviously that's when I started challenging myself to kind of just like, all right, we can do better. Started off by getting a job. Huge influence with my ex. I never really dated anyone before her because I didn't really believe in that ideology of love in that type of way. And obviously having that hardship through family made me harder to love and dedicate myself to someone else. Yeah. But when I did bump into my ex, she had a really, really, really positive impact on me, plus her family too. And by me being surrounded by them kind of just gave me a push to do better and actually to kind of be less selfish towards myself and towards be more caring for other people. And throughout that time, it was a very good relationship. It lasted about 3.5 years or 3 years. But what ended up happening was during that time, I made a stupid, silly mistake right before I turned 18 when I was 17 years old, which then ended me back into juvenile. So I spent 6.5 months in juvie, and throughout that time, I was reflecting on my time of the progress that I've actually made, which was positive. You know, being able to say, having a full-time job, having a proper income, having a relationship, being surrounded by her family was all positives. But because of that one mistake, I was pushed to a point to realize how easily you can push yourself backwards and hold yourself backwards. For progress that you've done for this long, you could mess it all up, or you can fuck it all up in just one action, you know? And so I guess during my time inside there, I just kind of made that dedication to myself to saying, hey, this is it, you know? I don't enjoy my time in there, but people seem to be enjoying their time in there. And then I just felt like, all right, that's the difference between us people. Like, you can enjoy your time here, or you could have no remorse for what you've done, or you might not have any future aspirations, but I do. So I kind of made that decision towards myself to be more dedicated to my relationship and my life in general. So when I did come back out, luckily my ex was obviously still with me. A huge thank you to her family too, because if it wasn't for her family, I wouldn't actually be out. They provided me the house to stay at and to be bailed out to. Her family was very welcoming and very loving, even though she was older than me, and I had my own house and doing everything. Her family obviously knew. They're like, hey man, you're this young of a kid. Our daughter's older than you, and you have more shit going for you. Not than her, but you have your own place and you dress really nicely, and you're telling us you're living by yourself. So I can't expect that you haven't been through some stuff, because her family's from America, from Philly. So her dad looked at me and he said, I know that you were not just some innocent kid living by himself and doing whatever. So your past is your past, but what we want to give you is the opportunity to change your life, which is stay at our house, be a part of our family, and all we want you to do is get a job or do some type of education, and do not get mixed around with those people. So when I was shown that love from those people, it literally, I don't know, it touched my heart to a point where I was like, okay, now I actually have people that I can't disappoint. They've stuck their neck out for me, and including my youth justice worker. Her name's Jade. A huge love for her, because throughout my time in the justice system and being around those people, she never looked at me differently. She's always believed in the better side of me, and always advised against the people that I was hanging around, saying, hey man, like, these people are really holding you back. And when I did go to like juvenile and come back out, she was still there. Before that, she was also supporting me throughout the whole time of me being homeless, being able to provide me accommodation, housing, being able to let me go through the justice system and be able to own, not own a house, but like rent a house when I was under 18 years old, which is very hard. Yeah. For you to be trusted, to be paying bills and rent, and to be given a property for you to watch over. So I've had that experience and everything, but when I came back out, obviously it was a really big thing, because she done a lot to get me out, and she done everything that was required of her. And I was put on like a 2-year probation, where I had curfew, couldn't go out, was not allowed to be involved in any activities that could hold me back to the community or to myself. And so throughout that time, what I did was I started working in a spray painting business for automotives. So I went to this place called Synergy, which was pretty much an organization that educates you with either panel beating or spray painting, and to get you back into the society in a way, provide you those jobs. Yeah, exactly. So Jade was the one that found me that place, because she said, what do you want to do? And she really pushed for me to do something that I would want to do. So at the end of that probation, I finished up everything, and it was actually like a little sad moment between us, because she's like, wow, you done it. Like, you're no longer in the justice system. You're a free man, you know? And good thing was all these things happened before I turned 18. Yeah. So she's like, I've really seen the change in you, and I'm so happy that you've done it. And it's like, I'm sad that I'm never gonna, we can keep in contact, but I'm happy that I don't have to work with you anymore, because you're what we call the 1% success. Like, from someone that is able to get the opportunities that was given to him and actually make something of it. And she wished me the best. And throughout that time, I was being, obviously I kept working, and my relationship with my ex was getting deeper, and everything was kind of going good. And, well,
what did you get into before you did got into like the actual printing and getting that practical work, the practical workshops?
Yeah.
You were doing a bit of camera work, from my understanding, or photo shoots?
Yeah, I was doing photos, but I never really done it as a business. It was
Yeah.
just more so for my friends, and I have a passion in photography. But when I was working in Synergy, my boss was like, hey man, I really like your attitude, because a lot of these people come here and they don't take advantage of the opportunities that they're given with. So why don't you use that mindset and actually start a business for yourself? So I ended up starting a business in detailing cars. So I would have my car, and I would have a trailer on the back with all the equipment on it. And I would go around and I would detail people's cars. And so I was making money, but then it's just like, I still never felt fulfilled in my life at that time too, because I love learning things, I love being good at it, but I hate repetitive work. So I just said, what can I do to challenge myself on a grander scale? So that's when I guess Senpai really kind of started up for myself, which is like, I'm just going to pick up a new skill. And in the world that we're living in now with social media and YouTube and everything like that, all the information is out there. If you want to get it, it's accessible to you. There's actually almost no excuses for you not to. So I just thought about it, and I was like, how do people put prints on t-shirts? How do they actually get about to doing it? And for me, it was just like, all right, you know what? I want to do things that are more creative and challenge me mentally than physically. So when I started learning about it, I was watching YouTube videos for about 3 months. And then I was like, you know what? You could watch as many YouTube videos as you want, but the very first step to doing something is
Trying it.
That's it. You just gotta pick it
Do
up.
it.
You gotta do it.
Yeah.
you know? And people think like success is just all about like achievements and everything, but it's actually 98% mistakes. Like all those 98% mistakes, and then you have that 2% that's an actual success. And you only need that 2% to make it. So I just said, you know what? Like, I'm going to start it, and I'm going to be consistent at it. And throughout my time, I just had to believe in myself that I can accomplish those things. So what ended up happening was I bought the screen printing machine. I watched those YouTube videos back to back to the point that I literally knew the process and I understood it. And I was like, I'm just going to dive straight into it. So obviously the very first experiences with that were very annoying because it looks easy, but doing it is also hard.
The YouTube videos, the way they explain it is just like, oh, anyone can do it.
They just like stencil this, put it on the screen,
but that's kind of also taught me something very important, which is like anything that anybody does, you have to respect it as an art form. Like people might look at podcasting and they say, oh my god, this is easy. No, it's not. Like stitching and sewing
There's
stuff.
so much
This is easy. No, it's not. Like you just really have to respect it, and you have to be dedicated towards it.
100%.
So
you gotta be like not scared to try, not scared to fail as well, because that's what a bunch of people I feel like they're like, oh, if it's not perfect, I'm not gonna start. Like, or it's not ready. Like there's this little problem with it. Like someone's gonna pick up on that, but nah. Like you just gotta chuck it out there, see how it goes, and that's. If you don't do
it's
that,
like,
you're not gonna learn properly.
Yeah, it's like let's say you start a business, you make like 50 t-shirts, not one sells, and people just tend to give up.
Yeah.
There's no point because like at the end of the day, if let's say those 50 t-shirts don't sell, probably a year later you could sell 100. But you never know because you're never gonna actually go out and do it.
But I guess it just comes down to like what your like vision is, because if you don't align something with your vision and your purpose, you won't do it.
And 100% with that, people, what it is too, when people start things, they have this like over hype expectation that, oh my god, I'm gonna make it. You know, let's just say I got a bunch of following on Instagram, I'm gonna make it. It's not like that, man. People want to see what they do. Everyone has their own interest. So you just give it a go, start it, see what you did wrong, see what you did right, pick up on what you keep working on what you did right, and improve the things you did wrong.
You always have to look at the negatives, regardless of like how many positives come out of it. I mean, you two can agree with me on this. The amount of positives that can come out of something, you always have to look at the negatives, because if you don't look at the negatives,
you won't learn.
And you just keep pushing at the positives, bro, your feedback will just get worse and the brand will just fall apart.
100%.
At the end of the day, and like coming from a 15-year-old at the time, I copped it bad. So like learning from that, like a lot changes. And
maturity too.
Yeah.
And even like, so during that process, like obviously I wasn't full into Senpai. I was still learning. So obviously I needed a job, a full-time job.
So at that time, I was working for an insurance company called Westwood Automotives in Ravenhall. But then what happened was my mate Tyreek, I'm pretty sure you all met him. He told me that his dad runs a business, and that business is in double glazing houses and offices, buildings, whatever it is. And it would really be helpful if I did go and work there, because one thing people need is a little bit of mentoring. You need a little bit of mentorship to be done to kind of help you to be guided into that proper way. So what ended up happening was that I started working for Tariq's dad, and in that double glazing place. And this is why I also believe that he was a big impact for my life, because he was able to teach me things that I didn't even know about myself, first of all, and also things about business and running a business and everything that's involved with it. And what happened was, maybe I worked there for about 1.5 years, and during this time he let me be in charge of the fabrication area, and they started a business 2 years ago, and they became corporate within 2 years. Why do they do that? Because of the mindset that you employ into yourself and into your business and into your craft really matters. You have businesses that are running for 5, 10 years, 20 years, and they will do the same thing again and again and again. You'll see no growth. But the reason that he's managed to scale up that big is because of the things that he's managed to learn and employ into his people and the knowledge that he was able to give. So during this time, he's pretty much helped me out a lot with my routine, with myself, being able to say I'm responsible for something. You know what I mean? A job is a job at the end of the day, but I felt like I was part of a real, real big team. And then one day, when COVID was going through and everything, he was just like, I see you're doing a lot for yourself. You're printing, you're getting it done. And at this point, Senpai was just a creative outlet to me. And it forever will be a creative outlet for me. It's not a brand, or it's not like a streetwear brand. It's my vision produced to physical, to digital, to whatever, and that's just me of connecting with other people. That's my ultimate goal for it. And he was like, yo, man, I see you're doing really good here. You pretty much have been holding up a lot of weight from work and all the responsibilities that we give you, and you're really on point with your stuff, and you're also going back home and you're working on your stuff there too. But you can't be half in, half out. If you're going to do your own thing, the only way that you could be pushed to making it a business is that if you completely rely on it. You need to dive into the deep end and be engulfed in your own work, And he's like, because at the end of the day, you have a safety net, which is work. You're getting income from work, so you just take your time and produce your stuff. That's understandable. But if you really want to know what you're made of, you'll dive into it 100%. Yeah. And obviously, because of COVID, the business that he was running solely required on people to install glass into the people's houses, and obviously because of COVID that wasn't allowed. So he had to reduce the amount of people that was working for him. So he gave me an option. He was like, obviously I'm gonna have to let go of a couple of people, but what I want to give you is I want to give you the opportunity of becoming redundant and giving you a redundancy pay as a thank you from my company to you for all the services that you've done. And what I want you to do with that is that I want you to go in and take everything you've learned here and everything that you're doing here and put it into yourself. My door is always open for you. If you think that it's hard and you can't make it, you can come back anytime. But I feel like out of everyone there, if I was to give you that opportunity, you can make the most of it. You can make something. Instead of just sitting at home and watching TVs, I know you'll be doing things for yourself. And I completely believe in you and I trust in you. So he's like, I want to give you that opportunity of making something of yourself. So he gave me a redundancy pay, and I pretty much started working for myself full time. And even throughout that time, that's when I really understood, when you really rely on something to make you that money. As obviously I'm living by myself, and at this point, because of family breakdown, again, the same family breakdown that I went through, my sister was not able to live at home too, and she's 17 years old. So at the moment, I'm taking care of her full time. So I really, really, really need to make sure that every single step that I'm taking is aligned with my purpose, which is obviously taking care of my sister, but at the same time leading with an example for her. That's saying, hey man, you have work and you have to study and you have to do all that type of stuff and you have to achieve all this stuff, but at the same time, you have to look at the bigger picture and try things and get out of your comfort zone and actually really put in that work for yourself. So obviously the money started going down, and that's when I decided to be lean with my spending and the things that I do. So which is pretty much, we all get the same 24 hours in a day. It's our responsibility to allocate what is most priority to ourselves and to our life. Where do we put our money? Where do we put our energy? Where do we put our time? Which is the most valuable things. So then I had to cut down a whole lot of friends, obviously. And every single action that I do has to be aligned with my purpose. And because of that now, I've managed to turn that into an actual, not a profitable business, but something that is actually still maintaining me.
Generating income.
Yeah, generating income. So it's just like, I'm forced to make very critical choices because I don't have a back net, and I don't want to take the step backwards to getting a job and going backwards because I'm already doing good. And that's when the photography came in, because I was taking photos for myself. And then next thing you know, I was like, a lot of people like my work, and they said, hey man, can you take photos for us? And I started doing that, and it was really good, but I wasn't really getting much gigs of it. But one thing I did was, like, every time I edit my photos, I would make them look a little bit filmy. So I was like, I'll pick up a film camera and start shooting film. I want to see the experience. So I picked up a point and shoot, took it to like a party that I was meant to go to, the Out West party in somewhere, but it was really nice. So I took my point and shoot, shot there. People love the photos, and people really say, hey man, you know how to compose your photos. You really know how to capture the vibe and the aesthetics. So I was like, I'm going to go move up to a DSLR film camera. So which is full film and manual, but not a point and shoot. It's not automatic. So I got that, and then I just said, hey man, one of my friends, Iluka, was opening up a club in King Street. I said, hey man, can I bring my film camera and just shoot for you? And we'll just see how it goes. It was no big expectations, nothing. The photos that I got back from that day were amazing, and everybody loved it. And it got to a point where I'm just getting booked back to back by people now. And it just kind of pushed me to believe in my craft in a way. It was like, I never really thought I could be getting paid for this stuff. But now you get to see other people's vision come to life, and you providing value into them. And then at the same time, now I have two sources of income where I'm taking photos and I'm also screen printing. But now it's just like, I want to diversify myself into the things that I'm investing myself into, and also being able to network with bright-minded people like you guys. So Ego Expo hit me up just before I became fully self-employed by myself. And they said, hey man, do you want to do a pop-up and yada, yada, yada. Mel really pitched it nicely. I said, okay, it's a bit pricey, but what are you going to lose, you know? Go for it. I went for it, and the preparation was obviously hectic. I didn't really know what I was doing, but on the day, I managed to make I expected to just make maybe like 10, 20 sales, talk to a couple people. Like, my genuine goal for that day was to go down and provide people that experience of screen printing, to just tell them a little bit about myself, and to have like that genuine connection and meaningful conversations between people. And by the end of those 2 days, over 100, 120, 130 people bought from me, and I managed to talk to a lot of people and really, I guess, make those meaningful connections to a point where it's just like, it's a positive reinforcement when you're doing something and randoms notice it. Like, it's not people in your circle, not people from your circle. Like, it's not like validation from people from anyone, but validating it for yourself, to yourself, but at the same time, watching people invest into you and actually like see your vision was a really, really impactful thing, which is like, I've always thought I've just been just doing something normal. Yeah. But what you do to people's eyes is actually really valuable. And it's just like, it's a positive thing for the community, for the people that you're around, and going from, I guess, doing nothing and being harmful for the community to being a positive impact and to doing better. It's like, we need these positive reinforcements to make us, I guess, to make anyone to continue in doing good. Because if you're doing good and you don't get any positive reinforcement, what's the point of you doing the good? Yeah,
100%. And I think that even reflects, man, when you want best customer service. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I was shocked. I was still serving like a customer. I was screen printing.
Yeah.
And I just got my name called. I was like, what the heck?
But it shows like people enjoyed that, you know, and you're saying people like, they loved hearing your stories. Yeah. They loved the whole experience, and it's such a practical thing what you were doing there at the booth, you know, you're having people screen print and getting involved, you know, and you're having a chat with them, and that just shows how much you turned your life around, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. Even though it was a long talk.
It was a long talk, yeah.
You went deep into it, but bro, it's worth it, man. That story is actually worth it, and it's actually inspiring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might inspire some of our viewers. You know, there's some people that they don't know what they want to do or where they want to
What they
go.
want to pick up, anything, yeah.
And you just showed that, like, you can, even at your worst point, you can come back, climb, and hit a high pinnacle. It's very inspiring.
I'm just a very firm believer in that. If you are a positive impact to even one person, I feel like in God's eyes, you're doing good. You know, if you could change someone from the worst to the better, that's a very big thing.
100%.
But the only way that you could do that type of impact if you change yourself. Don't try to change others.
Change
Change
first.
yourself, and in the process, you'll help someone go there too. You know. But the main focus should be you. Every day, that 1%, 0.5%. It could even be 1% a year. As long as it's to the positive, you're slowly, gradually going up.
You can change the world, one person.
You can change the world, exactly.
Reach, cuz.
Run it.
Man.
It's good.
Run it, cuz. Matthias just did the craziest introduction right now.
I'm so sorry.
Come in with 20 minutes of a crazy story right now. If you don't give us the best story right now, you gotta
You want to give me? You want me to give you the full rundown of the whole
Tell me
and everything?
how you started the clothing brand. You started at 15 years old.
Yeah.
And you're 18 years old right now.
Yeah.
I find that crazy, man. I remember when you were telling me he's 18 years old, I was tripping for like a good 5-10 minutes. I'm like, nah, no way. But tell us about Immortal Fate. How did it start? What got you into it? And what can we expect from you in the future?
I mean, with the the thing is, like, since I was like younger, like even when I was probably 12, I think I got into fashion around 10, 11. Around there, like I was really, like getting into the Supreme vibe, the Bape vibe, all the big brands at the time, And like I used to I was a reseller at one point. Like I used to do shoes, and I was a hustler at like 12, 13 years old as well. And I kind of I came here and I went to SneakerCon. I was buying like these I bought a Bape t-shirt for like $150, and I was like, why should I spend $150 on a t-shirt from another brand when someone could spend $150 on a t-shirt from my brand? And I mean, it's a cocky mentality, but
Let's go, man.
But I'm just tripping. You were like 12 years old spending $150 on a tee.
Yeah.
Where are you getting the money from, bro?
I barely had $5
for food, man. I barely had $5
My
for
parents
food.
sending me to
My mama would
the op shops and that.
Money or
Came
what,
up, baby. That was me.
No, I mean, it's from my parents. My parents came through, but we didn't have a really firm upbringing either. My parents obviously immigrated to New Zealand. I was born and raised back home. And yeah, it was a tough life. Up until I actually started getting into everything, we were almost on the street at one point. Yeah. So, I remember those times where I'd see my parents yelling at each. There were fights at home, there were arguments because you're low on money.
Of course.
Stress. Yeah. That's the one thing that impacts everyone's mind. If you don't have money, stress. If you don't have this, stress. Regardless, it's all stress. But Immortal Fate, okay, so the thing is, when I was 13, I came up with an idea. I called the brand Dot Clothing. All right.
So D.O.T.
D.O.T. Clothing. And I copped it bad. I went to school, I was telling people, and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Are you stupid? And that kind of led me into this spiral where I was like, you know what, fuck, I'm never gonna touch a piece of clothing. And then some other guy in my school started something else. He's like, fuck you, I'm gonna start this. So he went and started something. And I was kind of like, oh shit, man, I really don't have potential. And 2018 I moved here and I started to pick up that idea again. I moved to a new school. I was like, new people, fuck it, let me try again. So ideas were flying around. I remember I came up with an idea Legends of Our Generation or some shit. And the whole idea behind it was to put fucking Muhammad Ali's face on the front of the t-shirt and then a fat ass quote in the back, And that was my 14-year-old mentality at the time.
Yeah.
And I went to my dad and I was like, oh, this is the idea. He's like, yeah, because my dad's a businessman and so is my mom. The whole family kind of business. But I went to him and I was like, this is the idea. And he was like, oh, that's a cool idea. Where's your money? So I was like, fuck it, I'll get back into reselling. So I started like doing my shoes, and I started like picking up, like I started flipping shit again. And then I was reading Macbeth one time. I was in school. I was in like year 9, and I don't know, there was some line. I can't really recall it, but there was a line, and it just had immortal something. I was immortal, or some bullshit like that. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, that's a cool word, right? So like in the back of my book, I'm like, IMMORTAL, because I was like, okay, like that's an idea. June of 2018, I went back home and I went to Zara. This is a stupid story. I went to Zara and I saw a t-shirt and it said Blind Fate. And I was like, oh, that's a cool t-shirt. I bought the t-shirt, yeah. Picked it up, went back, came back to Australia.
It was a women's shirt.
No, it was a men's shirt.
Oh, okay.
Zara men's. There it is. Who's about to call me out? It was a women's shirt. You bought a women's
I was like,
shirt.
this guy's in the women's
Respectfully.
section of Zara?
Respectfully.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with shopping at women's section.
Yeah, it's cool,
If
man.
it was a woman's shirt, huh?
Yeah. I was just saying, so it was
You
a
know,
women's
the
shirt.
funny thing is I still have it. I cut that shit up and I still wear it.
No way.
But like, I came back and I was like, I opened my book. I had to do holiday homework and all that bullshit. So I came back and I was like, that word's still there. Oh, let me chuck this in it. So Immortal Fate. And I started coming up with the idea, and I was obsessed with like, Jaden Smith at the he had that Sire image coming out, and I was like, that overlap looks really cool. So I made a mock-up. Like I went on Vista, not Vista. I went on some random those websites where you can
you just go on Google and say screen printing. Or
how to screen print a t-shirt or some
Oh,
shit.
God.
So I just went and I threw a design on it. And I went to school and I was like, I didn't tell many people about it, but word got around. Come close to October 2018, I copped it really bad. I made the t-shirts were being made, and I was trying to get people to check it out, and I opened up the Instagram page and whatnot.
Trust me, there's gonna be haters at the beginning. There's always haters,
especially in high school.
I think at high school,
It's judgmental. The world we live in right now is that you do anything. You could do the most selfless thing in the world.
Honestly,
it doesn't matter.
Honestly.
There's always gonna be that one person that has something to say
It
about
wasn't
it.
even one person.
I know, it's the whole school.
It was literally
Because you're different. Because you're doing something different, and people don't like that.
At one point, it was so I made the t-shirts, and at the time, I did have a couple mates to talk to. The stat probably by 2019, I had none. I had no one to really talk to. I think I launched the brand in 2019, and one of I'm not gonna name anyone obviously, but a guy from the group of boys bought one of my t-shirts. And
The one that was hating.
Yeah, he bought it. No, he bought it for a reason.
Okay.
He bought it, and there was a video going around school of my t-shirt being burned, spat on, this, that.
Damn, high
So
school
they had not a hate towards the t-shirt itself. They actually hated your vision. They hated you.
Towards
But
me.
it's not like you were doing anything bad.
Yeah. And
Damn.
it just got bad. I had a media project coming up, so I tried to do. I just tried to incorporate Immortal Fate.
Yeah.
I had this such a strong drive for it.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, fuck everyone.
They're just trying to
Fuck what
break
people
you. Yeah,
think.
they were trying to break you.
Yeah, they were literally trying to break me.
Yeah.
And I had a media. I was doing a shoot. It was a magazine cover. I wish I could pull it up some way. It was
I can put a screenshot if you send me the
Yeah,
link.
I got you.
100%.
And I made that. We were doing the shoot, and I accidentally left one of my t-shirts in the toilet. Mind you, I went back. It was in the urinal.
Damn.
And these were t-shirts, and I paid the money for that. And I did everything, and I made the design.
What school did you go to?
I went to.
Guys, it don't even
We
say
don't disclose the school.
Fuck the school.
Sorry,
Guys,
but
We don't
high
disclose
school
the
was that
school.
bad. Cuz.
Nah, school
maybe
high school was one of the worst times for
Nah,
me.
but I went to a.
If I could run it back now.
Oh.
Was it that bad, bro?
I went to a very predominantly white school though. I went to a Christian school.
I went to a white school.
Bogan
I
kids.
hated it.
Okay.
And I was like, fuck, I feel like an outside. When I went, my first day, I was like, there's no way I can stay here.
It's what you call. They try to whitewash you.
I got whitewashed.
Yeah.
But even when I came to this industry party, bro, I felt with
Out of
my
place.
people. I was like, there's people of color here. There's other ethnicities here, bro. My school was plain white.
Yeah.
There was some probably maybe some black kids, some Indian kids, Asian kids. I feel like now the schools picked up more on that because there's a lot more diversity in that area. But before it was just white. Like my whole year level was white.
Yeah.
And like, I just felt like one
So
uncomfortable
what happened
motherfucker.
after that point? After that point where you did drop, you know,
I got the
clothes,
drive. I still kept it, and I
you
like
maintained it.
yeah. I made the website in January of 2019. Like it was going like sales were going in, sales were going in. I hardly got any support. Probably 2 people from my school. Well, like, oh hey, like I'll buy a t-shirt from you to support you. But like a lot of people, like even now, they're like, oh, like I remember this one. I was talking to this one kid the other day, and he was like, "Bro, like my friends love my stuff," and like I felt happy for him because that's something that I really didn't get.
Yeah.
At that
And
age,
I was like, that's good. Like, just keep those friends because at the end of the day, you don't know where shit's gonna turn. You know, like I made these t-shirts, I lost everyone. Like I had no one to really talk to.
Yeah.
I just came home, I did my thing, this that. 2019, I was like, yo, the t-shirts are kind of doing well because I was marketing them back home. I was trying to get the what's up?
I was gonna say, like, honestly, like, just the topic on this one is that not people from your circle, they're gonna be your biggest haters or the biggest people that say, like, they're smiling to your face or they say, hey, we got you, I'll buy it next time. But the whole aim is to get outside of your circle and to go to people that don't even know you because they don't know you. So your work, like anything that they're seeing, is like a pure reflection of themselves and reacting straight to it without like a bias to you. It's not like, oh, I love these t-shirts, I love the design, I'm gonna buy it. The people in your circle are like, I like the t-shirts, but I don't think I want to support him.
Facts. And like that's the thing, like I got so much like not even I just got fucking hate for it. It was like, bro, you're
Pure
pure
play
shit.
hate.
I'm like, okay, fuck my bad.
At least if they say I didn't like the designs and it would have been nice if you did this.
They just said it's shit.
Right.
They just said it's shit.
Some people were just like, oh, bro, like, so you know how the t-shirt went, bro, my name was Immortal Piss for God knows how long.
Jesus.
Yeah.
They really tried to break you. That's
bad.
That's,
That would break
that's bullying.
Like,
Bad.
most people
And
would break
I
from
thought it
that.
was my like, and that those people were like my circle kind of, cause like I was new to the school. I don't really know anyone. Like whoever can be my friend can be my friend, you know.
Yeah.
But I launched something else, and it was called the Europe collection, and this is where like shit went downhill for me fast.
Even more.
Yeah.
Bro, I was just waiting
when
for
you
it to
did-
come up and it just keeps
Alright.
going
When you-
down.
Let's get down a little bit more.
Sorry,
What
bro,
happened-
continue,
what happened
man.
after this?
So basically, like I put a quote on the back. So I don't know if you guys know him. Have you heard of like 1340? Justin Escalona.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
used to
heard
watch
of
his
him?
YouTube videos. Yeah.
I was really inspired by him, and like I saw the stuff that he was doing. I mean, shout out to Justin, and if you ever watched this, but I was watching his thing, and like all he did was like he put like a PNG or like a photo, and then he just put a quote on the back, and I was like, yo, that's a hard idea. So what I did, I went on Google, PNG Venice or some shit like a Venice painting. Found something from Van Gogh. I was like, oh, this is hard. Chucked it on a blank, and I put like a really weird quote, and my English was shocked. I don't know what the fuck I was doing in year 9. My English was ass.
Oh,
like
no.
my punctuation, like the way I worded things. I was like I look back at
Got
that
fresh
shit
off the
now,
boat.
and I'm like, what the hell? Like we talk about, I don't know. It was like we talk about following our destinies, but the real question is why.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like now I look back at it, I'm like, hey, that was a stupid thing. But at the time, it just went downhill. Like people were embarrassed to wear my clothes. Like one of my mates, he bought a hoodie. He pre-ordered a hoodie before they were even made. And he got the hoodie, criticized it, and the guy just hit it. Like he'd put a t-shirt over it or something. He'd be like, oh, the quality's nice, but I don't like the print.
Like
You know?
what part of the print did he like the quote itself?
The back. The front was pretty basic. The front was just like Immortal Fate.
Yeah.
Like Europe Collection 2019. And
Damn.
like that's when like shit just went downhill. Like to be honest, fuck the sales. Like there was just no support. And I was sitting there with 200 pieces on my back, and I'm like, I give up.
That's a lot too.
I give up.
That's a lot. But
I
so
got them
when it is,
imported.
what was
I
the
got them.
pinnacle point of like, because obviously you still persevered.
Yeah.
But what was, I guess, that pinnacle point of you breaking through the ice? And
Breaking through the ice.
Yeah.
2020 quarantine.
2021. So you
2020.
2020.
So so I went back to New Zealand, and some of the people there were like, "Oh, yo, your stuff's like still cool. Like we still like it." A lot of my sales were just going back home.
In New Zealand?
mates back home.
Yeah, New Zealand, showing love.
Because I moved away, and like everyone's like, you know what, a piece of run, fuck it, just buy it.
We'll buy it. Yeah, yeah.
And I gave them discounts as well. Like, I didn't really care. At the end of the day,
We know
I
about
still
the
don't
sale.
care about the money. So they're like, oh, well, you still like your stuff? And like one of my closest mates back home, he's like, keep going. He was like, I'm going to help you out. I can tell like shit's not going well for you. Keep going. I get back, and he gave me a shout out, and he DM'd a bunch of people like out of
love.
heart,
That's
He
the
was
real
like-
love, but that's all you need. That one person.
Yeah.
That's that brother love.
Yeah, hard. Like,
Huge shout out to him right now.
I mean, shout out
Love.
to Hakim, man. Hakim Mullah, bro. That's my boy, man.
That's love.
But
Yeah, hey, any of our viewers, if you can, just send DMs out to people for us. Just send that DMs for us if you can.
Help me.
follow these 4 people.
Help me.
Help us.
Blink if you need help. Help.
We need help right now.
Just put a sign up. Nah, but
So what happened after that? So he's giving
Yeah.
out shout outs, doing all of that.
Yeah. So I get back home and I'm like, okay, first things first, I want to gain a bit more of a following. I had like 100, 200 followers at the time. I think by March I had 1,000. So like it was instant. Like it wasn't just because of her. Like, I just pushed. Like I just kept pushing, and I'd stay up late as fuck. It was my holidays. I just stayed up, and I'm DMing people, and I'm like telling other people I don't even follow. I'm like, hey, you like clothes? Check us out.
That's
you know?
good. Yeah. So you just put
Yeah,
yourself out
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And like, and trust me, like, with everything that was going back at school, I was way too scared to even message someone. I was like, shit, what if it gets to the wrong person?
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, okay, I'm like, just keep going. Quarantine hits. And this is where I'm starting to realize I'm not gonna work in Australia anymore. You know, because
Hard.
bro, the prices of the labor's cooked.
Yeah.
Like,
But I've been watching your stuff for like years now.
yeah.
Like, I've
You
been
were on
watching-
it since 2020.
2020, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just literally seen you pop up, and I was like, oh damn, this is sick as fuck. But I'm the type of person that can actually look at something and not buy it. Like, I don't have the facilities for that big money. But I loved it. I really did love it. You know what I mean? So it was just more of like, oh, just chuck a follow and just
You just save
watch
You
it.
see a nice piece, you put
Save,
it in,
save.
Yeah.
Just in case
you
for the
save
future.
it, yeah, you save it.
and you go back like
Yeah.
2 months later.
Oh,
you look through like,
And mind you, I didn't even know him. I didn't even know who was running this at all prior
Oh,
to
so
this.
you
I
just
still
liked
keep
it.
it really private.
Yeah,
like,
that's really good.
not
part.
many people still know, like, oh shit, you're the, like, people thought we were an American. Some girl came up to me at the expo. She's like, I thought you guys were an American brand.
Hey, hey,
I'm like, what?
you know how people don't know who you are? Let me just say this. At the Ego Expo, remember when he was doing the runway? hey, this killed me because we was telling me about it. So pretty much,
I got a video actually.
he's got the video. We're gonna put the video up.
we gotta watch it.
You're the fashion designer of Immortal Fate.
And I joined the fucking models,
This
bro.
guy was walking down the aisle with the models modeling his own
His own clothes.
and they're trying to give a shout out to him. And he's in the line.
He went up on the stage.
He didn't know?
I don't know. He just
Wait, why were you modeling the runway?
I got lost. So she.
Jesus Christ! He says, I'm a represent. I'm out.
Listen.
You won't believe this, but we're meeting a designer just fresh out of high school. He's 18, fresh 18 now. Where is fresh 18 now? I think he's 18. Give it up for our models. Give it up for our Immortal Fate.
So I was already wearing like a tracksuit, unreleased tracksuit, and I was like, and Malia's like, go, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck am I? Where am I going? I go up the stage. She's like, go in the middle. So I'm going through the middle. Out of nowhere, everyone starts walking down. I'm like,
am I
shit.
doing? Yeah.
Improvise, just walk straight in.
Bro, I was watching the video back. You like went to put your hands up to like
Clap.
to clap or something,
Yeah.
and then everyone started moving. He's like, oh, he put his head down, and
Oh, my boy.
Bro, I put my head down. I was like, fuck it, whatever happens.
Happens.
I heard Mel saying like all this stuff, like he's only 18.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That's
they didn't even know who it is.
yeah, I just looked back and smiled because I was like, shit, what am I meant to do?
Yeah, yeah.
Now I got another one coming up this weekend. So
This
I'm
time
like,
you know,
hold on,
you know what to
you
do
know?
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But tell us, okay, continue on from there. Sorry to cut you off.
That's
Put
all
the
good.
video
It's
there
all good.
too.
It's all
That
good.
was just
It's
the
all
funniest thing I remember.
Oh my
that
days.
weekend.
he did it with me because I did it as well.
Yeah, I did a Wiebo.
Your one was nice too. We're gonna put that up as well.
Yeah.
But okay, so
But
people
yeah.
they don't know who you are.
No, like I kept it low key.
Yeah.
Obviously people in school knew how I was. Like people that I knew, like personally knew who I was, who the brand was. Come 2020, and I'm like punching out designs. Like I'm sitting in my bed during quarantine. I'm like, making a bunch. Like, I have so many backed up files for I don't even know how long now. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to start one more thing. And if this doesn't do well, I'm dropping this business completely. I was ready to deactivate my whole account.
Shit, okay.
Right?
How are you pumping it out so far? Were you working?
No, I've never worked a job.
Jesus, how are you funding all this stuff?
I did the reselling thing, and then I just kind of.
You still do reselling, or you just stop
No,
reselling?
it's just a business now.
Oh, okay.
Just chilling, and like the rents help me out here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm thankful for that as well. At the end of the day, like they still support my vision. And after Ego Expo, like they were like, shit, like what?
We gotta.
We didn't
It's an
expect that.
investment.
Yeah. But
like for anyone watching, it's not cheap. Anything that you want to do is not cheap.
It's
like,
not cheap.
If you want to do something, you better be ready to invest.
Yeah,
if you
invest in
think
yourself,
that starting a clothing line is like what
Profitable?
$200-$300 job, and you think you're gonna profit off your first drop, you're dreaming, bro.
Yeah.
Bro,
I was in debt. I literally checked my bank account like when I first started this business. I was $117 in debt.
How could you even get down there, bro?
They still let you take out money?
I asked them cause
you overdrew.
I took it out of my account. I overdrew it, so
Okay,
I gave these screen printing guys all. I was like a Gildan blank. Mind you, it was like a shit blank as well. I just went for it, bro.
That's a
but
big step up to where you are now.
I know.
Yeah.
And now it's all cut and sewn. But I think around come 2020, like I started working, just trying to buy off, because there's some brands that you can just put the design on and they can just ship it out to you like an individual piece. So I just kept doing that, and like I just like kept posting photos, and people were like, oh shit, like this stuff's hard, this that. And then I made 2 more designs. I made like a butterfly t-shirt and like a green hoodie, and they did so well.
That's the one.
They did so well, and I'm like, yo, there's potential now.
And you're 17.
I was 16 at
16
the
at the time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember which design that really captured mine to yours, but I think it was one of those from 2020. Like I remember seeing that it said Immortal Fate and it had like 2 butterflies on the thing.
That's what I'm talking about.
I was like, that is sexy.
That's what I'm
It's
talking
clean.
about.
It's simple,
Yeah.
but clean.
Yeah.
And I started looking through his whole shit, but like it just takes you for that one piece. You just need to like that one piece to like everything else.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I clicked on it. I was like, oh, what is this? And I'm like, that's. I think I seen it being shared around somewhere. I seen it on a story. And I think you might have. Were you marketing it around then? Like, were you putting out any ads?
Yeah.
Because I don't-
I did one ad because I was like, I didn't have much at the time, and I was like $1, and it was like 5 days. I just did $5 and punched it in, and it did. I mean, it did good numbers.
It was a
I
girl
can't
sitting
lie.
in the car. Was it a girl?
It was my sister.
That was your sister. Because I was like, damn, in the car, and I like that butterfly. It was just simple. Like, I think it was the simplicity that kind of like really took it in.
I
and then
mean,
all the other stuff, I was like, yep.
Shout out to Palm Angels. I got the idea from. You expect a 16-year-old to like fully creatively come up with an idea?
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Everyone
like,
takes inspiration from
I mean,
somewhere.
yeah,
You need
like-
inspiration.
yeah, I mean, like, still, like, nowadays, like, I'm still looking at other brands. The drops coming up are definitely inspiration from other. We got Von Dutch vibes coming in, you know, like, a lot of different things. But, like, come 2020, like, I just started doing all that shit. And then, like, I started doing hoodies. And, like, and then I got creative about it. And my girlfriend at the time, she was like, oh, like, you should, like, start switching it around a bit, you know. And I was like, all right, yeah, I reckon I should start switching it around. And the drop does well, and I'm like, bet I'm gonna start doing something else. I'm broke, but like the amount that they're asking for and the amount that I have, second to none. I made 200 profit. That was good for me at the time.
Yeah.
So was that
So-
before the cut and sews?
That was way. So this is where the cut and sew part.
So this is where
comes
the change.
in. This is where the chain
Okay.
comes in. Yeah,
Finally,
the whole
positive.
the full change. Like in one night, everything for me just took a like full spin. Like this guy hits me up and he was like, "Hello, like we're a manufacturer. We ship internationally. This that. What do you want?" And I'm like, "Look, you seem like a dodgy ass guy."
Yeah.
I kept saying it. I was like, "I don't trust you, bro."
Was their page just
yeah,
closed
their page was
but it was
dodgy as shit,
yeah.
and I'm like,
Shit
"Oh
photos too, by the way,
Lord,
yeah.
like what am I doing now?" The guy's my main supplier,
Yeah.
and he's rebranded his company after mine. Like it's called like his company, and then he put Fate at the end. I mean, that's
Nice.
yeah, but
Shout out to him too,
I mean,
I
shout out
guess.
to Sammy, bro. I'm not gonna
don't let out your supplier, baby. No.
Nah, but yeah, he was like, I was like, do you do reflective? Because I ordered these reflective pants with my name on it.
Yes.
And I was like, yo, I want to do this. I want to make a drop of it. And I was like, do you do this? And he was like, yeah, done. He was like, but it's like $300. I was like, bro, I only got like $200 on me. Like, can you spare me something? And he was like, okay, done. So we worked around that. That comes in, and I never looked back after that. That drop went well, and then from there,
I remember seeing the lightning shorts and
yeah,
the
then the
pieces,
lightning
top
shorts and these
bottoms, yeah.
holographic pants and
The gun, the sniper one. Like I remember there was like the one with the sniper bullets.
yeah. Well, the recent, the Trust No One.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was 2021. So 2021 was like peak. I think 2020, end of 2020, like start of 2021 was my pinnacle year.
Yeah.
Like, I think 2021 was my pinnacle year because that point, I'm graduating. Shit. Let's not even talk about the graduating thing yet. But I'm in my graduate year. The brand's getting recognized. Life's good.
So did any of those haters become fans?
Some friends, they start.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
The haters
Jump to it.
started their own business.
Oh.
Started their own clothing line.
No way.
Yeah, did it
That's
do
it.
well?
Give us a shout out.
That's up to them.
Don't put this one in there.
Nah. It is
I'll
what
put
it
it
is.
in there, guys. But guys, that's inspiring. I want to know, Kaz, about the maturity, Kaz. You're 15 years old, now you're 18.
Yeah.
That maturity is insane, firstly. Bro, even when I met you, remember how much I was tripping out? I'm like, bro, you're not 18. How old are you, bro?
He thought I was 26.
I thought it was 26.
He's tall as well, right?
He's
You
tall,
have
Yeah,
to-
you're tall, bro.
He
Like,
had a bit of the facial hair too. I'm like, nah, this guy's old.
do
Bro,
you
he
reckon?
told me he was 18.
Would you say your family was also on a good impact? Like they believed in you. By the
100%.
looks of it, they
100%.
did believe in you. And I guess, would you say maybe like a certain friends but I feel like your biggest support so far just sounds like it was your family from the beginning because they never really gave up fate like on you.
I mean, my parents at one point were like, drop it. Like I think in year 12 they were like, you're done.
Just focus on
Just
school
finish
and
it.
stuff.
Just
Yeah.
finish on school. Get your A out. This that. My sister, on the other hand, really pushed it. She was like, don't give it. Because I used to go at her 4 a.m. Before that pinnacle, I went to 4 a.m. I said, I'm shutting this account down. Immortal Fate's done. This is before that butterfly. And
Yeah,
all
butterfly
this.
and everything.
That next morning, I came up with the idea, yeah. But I went to 4 a.m. I said, I'm done. And she was like, no, you're not. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So she's your biggest
Yeah,
cheerleader.
I mean, look, my family is supportive, but like, she really like. Man,
Of course,
shout out to my
because your parents are
sister,
doing
man.
it on the safe side.
Yeah.
Your parents are thinking maybe
Yeah.
go to school. Get that
But
safe
I
option.
met her on the
Yeah, she was
the
helping
pop up
out.
that we done
Yeah.
for Ego, and I'm like, whoa, like she's putting in that work, especially like she got that energy and everything. So like I can see like she actually believes.
I told her,
believes in
bro.
the
I was
vision.
like, you don't have to.
She probably
do it.
believes in it more than you, huh?
Probably. To be fair, she's like, oh, what jobs do you have coming up? We need help with this, that. And she's a busy girl as well. She's actually in the medical field. She's doing podiatry.
Okay.
And I'm still chilling. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, like.
Even your boy too, man. Your boy was showing love.
Who? Oh, yeah.
The one that came to
Muscly.
the event. Yeah, the muscle guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my mate. That's my closest guy. He was the only one in 2020, 2021 until now, guy that I could actually talk to about it.
Yeah.
And obviously, me and him we're in the same year level. We went through school together, but he was a part of that group, so I kind of stayed away from him. And
Sauce.
yeah,
I like that. Tea. It's good tea.
but like now it's like, oh man, you come over, we gotta do this, man. You gotta do a shoot, man. Like he's my go-to. He's my right hand now, and like I'm so blessed to have that support, because at that time, bro, it was bad.
It was
Like,
bad, yeah.
I can't even express it, and I'm gonna get fucking emotional if anything. It was bad. Like I used to.
It's borderline bullying, pretty much.
No, it was like
full-on bullying.
It wasn't. It was.
Yeah,
It is bullying. It's not borderline. Not borderline.
I mean,
straight shoved your shit in the
crossed the
piss
border.
and burnt it. Oh my
Yeah.
days.
Ripped
That's
it up.
tough.
I was like, fuck.
These guys, they're thinking they're in some American high school movie.
High
or
school
something,
shit,
bro.
yeah.
bro. But the thing is,
Yeah.
like, you went through that early, bro.
Very early. Like I didn't
Very
expect
early,
it.
A lot of people would have quit. I'll be honest with you. Like they're even scared to do
I was
anything.
gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was close to it, and like I think later on it was like, fuck it. Whoever like
Whoever-
let people. Like,
I know Immortal Fate was you. That was just
Yeah,
you. Like
but-
whether people liked it or not, that was
Literally,
you. That was a
literally.
part of you.
Yeah, and I still went to school year 12. Bro, shit was still like, you know, like I just didn't even bother talking about it.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
people would still come up to me like, oh, how's it going and this that. But like I just didn't really bother. I was doing my own thing. I graduated, like got my ATAR, did everything. Thankfully, I got into uni.
Nice.
But my like life just took a U-turn again. Like after I just graduated,
And then it takes
I've
some more.
been talking to these two. I don't even
Yeah,
expect it.
one thing I did notice about him too is just like I've followed him socially, and it was cool. Like we would, and then we followed each other maybe like last year on like our main accounts, and we just followed each other.
Last
and
year, 2021.
Yeah, 2021. And then as we were just talking and whatnot, like I was like, wow, this kid's like a really cool ass kid. And then like we met at because we've
Industry
made
party.
plans to meet up a lot, but we made up at that
Industry party.
the industry party. And then I just talked to this guy, and I'm like, wow, like first of all, he's young. Like there's no doubt about it, but he's the youngest entrepreneur here. First of all, second of all, it's just like his mindset is really head, and he's genuine. You know what I mean? And then that's why when I talked to you two, I was like, oh, these people are really nice, because a lot of people have a lot of ego. You know what I mean? Like they want to seem like they're unapproachable. They don't want to communicate about how they're doing things, which is why I feel like in life, like there's just people that are shut down towards others in a way. But when I was talking to him, I was like, whoa, and then being able to like brainstorm ideas and actually just kind of like put in value to each other and like help each other out, that's like a really big thing. And that's what I think, that's the difference in people with their mindset, and they're a bit survivalistic, which is like, oh, this is for me. Like a lot of people ask me like, oh, where do you get your stickers? And I'm like, oh, I get them from Rad Stickers. Oh, this. And then I ask them one question, and they're like, oh, no, I can't tell you that. I'm like, why? Because I'm not competing against you. I'm competing against myself. I'm trying to do better for myself. And you make shorts, I make shorts, cool. But why would that be a boundary between us? Like, he was telling me like, hey, yo, man, like, I do my own cut and sews and stuff, and I could really hook you up with higher garment than AS Color. And I'm like, who the heck does that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. The
That
thing
was
is,
crazy.
it's a
Even
yeah.
at the industry night, that's what we were talking about. Like the first, like one of the first things, like because I was just asking, like I'm still new to it, so I'm asking people, oh, how do you do this? Like I'm trying to learn as well, and he's just so
I just
open,
shot. I was like, here, take this, take that.
He's like,
I'm
feel
starting my
this.
own
Yeah,
wholesaling business. Take this.
Yeah, I think
It's
from
like
the whole
competition.
place,
People
I
gotta
think you two are the most openest people that I've
I mean, look,
met.
at the end of the day, if you're not open with someone, if you're closed off, bro, who the fuck's gonna come up to you?
Yeah.
Who's actually gonna
Blocking
come
your own
up to you?
blessings, by the way, by
you
trying
don't-
to block
you don't-
others.
If you're standing there with your arms crossed or something, and you're just not communicating, you're just like looking around, who's gonna?
No one's
be
gonna
like,
come to you.
"Oh, fuck that guy.
You know what it is too? That's an opportunity missed.
Yeah, big
That's
time.
it. That's
Big
people gotta see it
time.
like that.
When I sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, if you try to block others people's blessings, or even that, like just block them in any type of way, you're blocking yourself in the process.
100%.
Oh
And
yeah.
it comes in full circles at the end
Yeah.
of the day, you know. And that's why whenever I do have connections with people, I have conversations, I just try to be as best as I can and
Yeah.
provide value to you, because I know that in full circles that later on in my life I'll be repaid by my own, like by not you, by not the person I talk to or whatever, but I know that I'm doing it for good out of my heart.
Yeah.
And in later on, all that things will pay off for myself. And if you come from that type of mindset, you're always willing to grow. You're always willing to challenge. You're always willing to like look at different perspectives. And that's, I guess, the biggest thing in my life, because I want to consistently challenge myself like every
100%.
single day.
On
And-
that, because you guys established a, you guys are
Yeah.
establishing a clothing brand.
Yeah.
You know,
Wait,
clothing
hold
brands.
up. One
And the
more
thing is, it's in your own. Oh, you guys say what you gonna say?
Back to the maturity thing.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm like, the way that you mature from 15 to 18 doing this stuff is so different to how you'd actually mature from 15 to 18. I was in year 10, motherfuckers was starting to smoke weed.
Doing all that,
Like
yeah.
a lot of drugs were coming into play, alcohol, this
Party
sex,
life,
drugs,
yeah.
this, that. But like I tried to just stay to myself. Like I'd
Yeah.
go home, open my laptop. My escape was the brand.
Yeah.
That was like, in school, I'm quiet. Like people used to be like, bro, you don't even look approachable at school. In school, I just had my head down, this, that, finish that,
Yeah.
go home, and then I'd just be myself. And like I just used to like open Photoshop, and like to me still like it's just
Felt like home.
escape. You feel at home.
But that's
You
why you got a
feel-
lot of hate, I'll be honest with you, but it's just more of like one thing I have seen in high school and growing up, which
Yeah.
is something that's very, I guess, common in everywhere you go, is that if you're different, you're hated upon.
Of
And
course.
I could relate with that like
100%.
being pushed away, because when I came here, I was an innocent kid, church boy, didn't smoke, didn't drink, and people make you feel wrong for not being able to fit into their circle. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, none of the cool kids ever wanted to hang out with me. Like, I was wearing Kmart clothes that my mom gave me, and she wouldn't even change shit for me, you know? But the same people that was hating, are now my followers. I see people inboxing me telling me, yo, man, I see the growth and I'm so happy of you and yada, yada. I'm like, where were you? Like, where were you in the beginning? You never believed in me.
Yeah.
And to this day, not that I shun them off, but I don't even put any energy towards that because I know that it's cool.
Yeah.
But what I do remember is that you used to bully me.
Yeah.
You used to try to exclude me. And now for the fact of it is like you wanna commend me for my stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you that privilege of being involved in my life or even getting that response from me. But at the same time, I do know for myself that I am on the right track and I am gonna do better. And it's just like the same people that will try to shut you down is the people that are scared.
Of course.
like,
And I mean, look at the way you've turned your life around.
It's
Like
crazy. It's
everything,
inspiring,
like everything in your life, even your circle, like me, Wiebo, everyone at the expo, bro. Like everything in your life is just turned around for the betterment of it. Like you're looking at such a brighter future than what you were probably looking at
way
a couple
before.
years back.
Yeah.
You know.
But I guess just continue. Like
Yeah,
the,
for
the
sure.
biggest thing is to maintain it. Like one thing I
course,
say is
bro.
just maintain
Yeah.
the hustle.
Even in high school, man, this is what I always thought, like I learned from high school. Whoever the coolest kids are,
Yeah.
between 15
Biggest
to
drop kicks.
18, are
Biggest
going to be
flops.
the brassiest people
Yeah.
in the
flops.
future.
Fuck yeah.
That's what it is. If you're 15 years old and you're not chilling with the cool kids, don't chill with them.
Yeah, don't
because
worry
you're
about
actually
them,
gonna
bro.
be doing good in life.
Don't
Do
worry
chill
about
with them.
them.
Because you know me, I had the balance of like chilling with, I knew all the cool kids, but I also hanged out with like the anime people, and so I got a bit of a balance.
the
you know,
normal
normal
Yeah.
people.
And like, what's wrong about being an all? Like some people are like, I'm
Anime.
confined to my group. You know.
Yeah.
Bro, be an all rounder. Meet even like the classified weird kids. Hang out with them.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
what? They're not gonna fucking bite you.
Yeah.
They're not gonna like,
100%.
like they're the
But
last people to actually.
The difference is
take-
there's
They won't
people that
judge you.
actually shun,
Yeah.
and there's people that really do try to take people down. Like there's, like look, the school that I went to was Fitzroy High, and the people that was there was cool. Like most of them were actually pretty cool, but you would always get the collective group of people that have pleasure in putting people down,
hard,
just
yeah,
to
of
bring
course.
themselves up.
Yeah.
But one thing you will notice is that as time goes on, they maintain that type of mindset and they're going downhill.
Of course. Yeah.
While the people that have been put down are the ones that actually really, really putting in that
Yeah,
work to excel. And at the end of the day, we're all on the same journey of life. So you can't be a hypocrite and say, oh, yeah, I'm better than you now, yada, yada, yada. But you got to understand that everybody's on the same like pace of life and they'll get there sooner or later. They'll have that like growth in them. But for you, that was just like, you know what? I'm on my own path. I'm on my own journey and I'm going to keep going. And or everybody else is on theirs and everybody will get there sooner or later.
Open my question, boys.
Go hard.
This is for all of yous. Let's just say some of our viewers want to get into the clothing brand, get into the making the materials and stuff. What would you guys tell them? Because you guys all do a different. Everyone here.
It's different stuff.
It's
all
different
different.
style. It's
all different.
It's crazy. It's all different style. You know what I mean? Let's just say collectively, you guys can brainstorm. What would you say tips for someone that wants to get into clothing, even merchandise, just like making, just
Honestly,
Who wants to go?
just
There you go.
just start. Like, get your idea in your head. Like, know what you want to do, have a vision, and just start doing it. Try
But
it
stick
out.
with it.
Like, people don't like it, just keep trying. Like, that's the only way you're gonna learn. There's no like guaranteed plan. There's no, oh, if I do this, it's gonna come out perfectly, or this is the path to follow. If it was that easy,
There's no right way. there's no right or wrong.
everyone would be able to do it. You know,
Yeah.
there'll be a path, and I'll just say, oh, take these steps, and you'll make a good clothing.
Yeah,
brand.
and I'm
There's no
telling
way.
you, like those, like, oh, how to start a streetwear brand, YouTube videos. I mean, you can go for them, but you're never gonna really like.
you won't
as he
understand.
said,
Yeah,
As he said, jump. Like I always say this as well. Dive into the deep end. You never know what can happen. You're never gonna know how to swim unless you actually
Dive
get
into
yourself
it.
in there.
yeah.
You know.
What about you,
And-
Matthias? What would you say?
I think one thing that I would advise people is obviously the first step into anything is just the first step. You have to take the first step into it. The other thing that I would want to say is like, just remember, t-shirts are t-shirts, designs are just designs. The real question is, what value are you trying to provide to these people? What is your niche? And once you can find that, you can really start taking it up. But by the end of it, it's just like, just start off and continuously like be invested into your craft and respect the craft. It's not just, it'll just come
Yeah.
overnight. If you don't respect it and if you don't really truly believe in it, it won't last. You're not going to enjoy it and you're not going to be doing anything meaningful to the world. But if you are wanting to do something that's much more unique to yourself and try to provide value to others, because the only way that you could be valuable in someone else's life is if you're someone that could provide value. So remember, t-shirts are t-shirts, designs are designs. What value are you providing? That's the main
100%.
thing for me.
One other thing as well, like I've just started, so you guys probably know more than me. But if you're making a design, make something you would wear yourself. Don't
Don't do it for anyone else.
Don't start thinking, oh, okay, let me make this because people will buy it.
Yeah, no.
Make it because you'd be proud, you'd want to wear it yourself, and then there'll be other people out there like you. Like, there's other people similar to you. Have
7 billion people in the world,
He's got a point.
No, there is. So if you're gonna don't make something you don't like just because you think it will sell good. Like, make something that you'll be proud to wear, that you
represents you. By the way,
So,
It has
I
to
mean, you
represent
see me. I'm wearing me. He's wearing his brand. He's wearing his brand. Like,
And I
you
got your
all,
hat on.
and you got the. But like, that's what I was like. Even when, with that 15, 16-year-old mindset, I was like, I don't want to make something that I'm not gonna wear. Because if I'm not gonna wear it, who on earth is gonna buy my? Like, who's gonna wear it as well? Like,
because a lot of people used to ask me like, what type of designs are you gonna do? And what my just genuine
can't
idea, I was
think
like, you
of
know
it.
what? I don't want to cater to a certain niche. I don't want to cater to people. I want to put out things that make me happy and believe that there's also other people like you that are attracted to the same thing.
Yeah.
So by you putting it out and staying authentic, the people that don't like it, they don't like it. That's cool. Like, that's very nice and it's okay. But when you do something that truly represents yourself, then you will start drawing in people that really, really are connected to you.
Yeah.
So one thing I do say is like the gap, which is like whenever you're doing things like good, the only way that you could go down is that if you bring yourself down to that level. So as long as you keep doing your own thing and you keep going up, you'll lose friends, you'll lose people, you'll lose attraction, whatever it is. But what you're going to do is that you're finding new people in the process.
100%.
And these people are the ones that are going to be taking you up there. So as long as it's something really meaningful to you, the right people will be drawn to you. Because some people might look at this clothes and be like, nah, it's shit.
Yeah.
But when I seen it, I was like, yo, that's probably the most original shit I've ever seen
I think,
in a
what it
damn
is,
while.
For real,
Each
man.
one of you, I'll say it from the outside looking in, each one of you has a unique thing about you. With Wiebo, and the Wiebored designs, it's a nostalgic vibe. Yes.
Yeah,
You come
everything.
there,
I ain't never seen that
I was
before.
at the booth the whole time. Everyone comes, oh my God, Kobe Bryant, for example, and the Shaq at the back. They grab it. Oh my God, One Piece. Oh my
God,
Naruto.
Naruto.
They
Oh
see
my
that.
God.
You know, so it triggers that. With your one, it's the practical. Like, it's just like you're a part of it. You feel a part of the process. So when you wear the shirt,
It's your
as a
own.
customer, you're like, yo, I did this.
Yeah.
You know
like
what I mean?
you press that.
You pressed it.
down.
Yeah.
That's
And
the thing.
and
Like,
you
it's just
experienced
like
it.
that's why I keep saying designs are designs. Like, I focus on the experience. Like, by you leaving a long-lasting experience, and just by having a normal conversation, you would have a long-lasting effect than 60,000 ads that you run on Instagram.
100%.
It ain't.
100%.
And then,
It ain't
and
it.
then, and then coming to you as well, your designs are literally from what I see is you get inspired by this artist or this kind of design.
Not anymore.
No, but I'm saying originally. I'm talking about
Yeah,
originally. You're like, yo, I messed with this. Let me tweak it up my way, how I see it. I see this vision, and you turn the whole vision into your own one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
'Cause
plus-
telling me, hey, I came to the relax.
I got-
Why
Nah,
you making me-
plus-
why you make- he made me look bad. at the
Plus-
start.
plus-
his quality is crazy.
And the quality
Honestly,
too.
and that's
The
what
quality
like,
too.
yeah,
The quality
for
too,
sure.
guys.
Like, if you look at my designs, I'll be honest with you. Like, the designs that I do and the designs that I work on, I try to do things that remind me of my childhood. So, like, if you look at this, like, this is Manny from Diary of
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah.
But like all my designs that I've done, people will look at it like, damn, I like it. I don't know why I like it, but I like it. And literally, all I want to do is make you remember a piece of your childhood that is like an embedded
That's how it is.
emotional thing. Like, I want to make people feel something. And the same thing that you're doing, you know what I mean? And it's just like, as long as you do it in your own voice and in your own craft, it's original, that's it. That shit
That's all
will
that
attract the
matters.
real
That's all
people.
that matters.
But someone will look at your stuff and say, okay, I'm going to cop. Because let's not lie. I've seen so many knockoff brands of this guy. And I've seen his damn DMs too. He DMs people like, bro, this is an exact copy of my freaking logo.
I texted
And
him. I was like,
yeah,
Matt, look at this.
and
He was like,
and I'm telling you, I watch them. I really do watch his face too. And a lot of people have tried to copy his brand, his aesthetics, and his logos. I've watched it. And the DMs that he also has to tell him, he's like, man, my business is licensed. My logos are actually licensed.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it's all
that's straight
trademarked. And,
copyright.
like,
Because you're 18 and you're trademarking, bro.
I know.
This is insane,
Legitimate, bro. Like, it's heavy.
This is crazy.
you know how-
That's
you
why
know
whenever
how
I
he
make-
said- you know how he said the inspo thing?
Yeah.
the whole collection now, like my recent collection, it was a story behind what I just told you guys.
Yeah.
Every piece that I put together on that in that collection had a story behind it. Even that just signifies hope because it's two angels connecting.
Yeah.
But like the one that I'm wearing is called the Lost Heart.
Yeah.
This is, you know how I said I was getting bullied. I fell to rock bottom.
Yeah.
This is the resemblance behind it. There was a butterfly one that resembled my growth.
Yeah.
Then the Hamptons and the Country Club one was kind of like, holy shit.
We made it
know,
to
like we've done
Southeast,
it, you know?
baby.
Like, you know, like
Yeah.
like every single, like there was one, it was an orange one that I had a dummy on it. I felt like a target. So like every single piece
Be the
had
target.
like some sort of like meaning
towards
behind
it.
because when I was younger, sure, I got inspo from a lot of brands, and like I still do bigger brands, obviously. 'cause
Yeah,
you don't
for
want to
sure,
get fucked over by a small
100%.
business, but like I look at it this way now. It's like every piece that I release, even past pieces, like not 2020, we could say, but like Trust No One, that signified, you know, no one believing in me. There was so many other pieces that came along that really had like, you know, proper meaning to me.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of drive I'm taking Immortal Fate to now, is like every single piece resembles
Your story.
my story, the brand,
Yeah.
and what's happening.
Yeah.
The next collection is being called A Summer in Europe. It's a remake of my 2019 collection
Yeah.
because that fucked up. So now I want to go back.
Yeah, run it back.
I want
Fix it up.
Yeah, I fixed
You know,
it all up.
You should release the same designs and see what people
See what people say. Laugh at their face, bro. I'm telling
People
you.
gonna love it. Be like,
Yeah.
Buy it. Buy it. But yeah, like
There's more to come. Just pretty
there's
much
so
like
much
keep,
more to
keep,
come.
keep
Yeah.
your eye on this space, because I'll be honest with you, like the young creatives that are actually around in Melbourne, because Melbourne's a very fresh marketplace at the same time.
Huge, especially
Just
the
keep your eye on
Southeast
this
ends
space.
as
There's
well,
going to be a
bro.
lot of creatives, like even like you guys, like the podcast that you're doing, like it's all with a purpose.
Yeah.
And just as long as you keep your eye on it, and literally you'll see the growth. And I promise you that in the next 5-10 years, we're going to be looking back at this and be like, damn.
Dude,
100%.
Promise you that.
We'll probably
like-
grab you guys back on in 5 years and see where you are now.
No, but I feel like the thing about, like, as you said, like, we're all original. At the end of the day, we all came together because we all have that, you know, that same mindset. Like,
Yeah.
me, Wiebo, and Matthias, like, we all have, like, we have a group chat.
Yeah.
And we just discuss ideas, and we're discussing.
I bet you
like,
no one
a
there
bunch of
actually
stuff.
just made that type of connection, but because
I
swear
know.
everyone was on like,
Nah,
individually. Like
at the end of the day, if we look at it this way, us three at Ego Expo were the only ones that were like,
people
we came
really
to each other, we're like, fuck, I'm
impactful.
slammed.
The thing is, there was a lot of brands that, like, trust me, there's a lot of brands that like came to me, showed mad support. I talked to them and that.
Yeah.
But I think we're just on the same vibe. Like our styles all mixed.
Yeah, all of us just.
Like, I was-
I think you guys are
Like,
at
really
the same,
well in that.
even the journey point. You guys are at a similar place of the journey. Despite we were just
I feel
starting.
bad,
We
bro.
were-
I've
we
been
were-
hearing
trust
you
me,
guys'
trust me.
story.
No, I'm
Trust
being
me.
serious though. A lot of people, even like my mates, I would see them. They were like, "Oh man, I just bought like from
Yeah.
Immortal Fate.
Yeah,
He's such a cool ass guy. I love him. I love everything about him." And then I'm seeing them with a pizza box. And I'm like, bro, like y'all niggas got food, and they open it and it's your shit. I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't even tell them nothing about you. That's the craziest part.
Yeah.
And I'm watching people walk away. And for them to be like, yo, man, I really did fuck with you guys the most, just because of the
Yeah.
fact that we can relate to you.
100%.
Like when you're looking at these big brands with $100,000 of equipment and like there's very,
They were
you can't
huge
relate
brands.
to them.
Like some
But
of the
when you
brands
keep it
there,
real,
yeah,
I think
massive.
opposite us, you got like all the
big
other
group.
brands.
That's the big dogs.
Yeah, they were
Big
doing
dogs,
well.
yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Omar, he's killing it with Westside and everything. I mean,
That's
shout
really
out to
tough.
Omar, but like us three, you had the smallest one. I mean, me and Matt still had booths.
Yeah.
But bro, we were going to each other at like some
100%.
points, and we're like, bro, this is crazy. Like we're looking
I would
around
see
at other
people with
booths.
his t-shirt come down and print my t-shirt. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the heck? And then at the same time, they got a pizza box, and I'm like, what is
You
going
got
on?
Senpai coming
Yeah.
down to us, and like, and the thing is, it's like
We're still showing each other love at the
Yeah.
time. Like, I'll be
There
honest.
was, you guys were coming to each other's booth
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, man, what's up? How you doing, bro?
Because he was the only one. He
That was
was
actually-
by
yeah, you had-
himself.
yeah.
So he
Yeah.
couldn't leave that much. But
I was
Yeah,
back
he
to
was-
back.
he was back to
I
back.
literally went there with low expectations. Say, hey man, just have genuine connections, have a simple conversation.
Yeah.
Probably sell 10, 20 pieces.
I know.
It's cool. It is what it is. Next thing you know, I'm back to back, and I'm watching these boys too. Like we
None of
went
us
in there with the
expected
same
it.
expectations, which
Yeah.
is low. He had to make these pieces last minute.
Like the
Yeah,
pieces
the
that you've
week
made,
off.
like it's not like he just orders it from another country and gets it back in. These things actually take time to make too.
Yeah,
So
you
for
gotta
him
sell
to
them.
pump out that much, that's a lot of work.
100%.
And people recognizing your work, that's ace.
That's
A lot
what
of people came down to him too and saying, "Hey man, I've been watching you for years. You're so inspirational to actually see you right here, right now, and be able to meet you." This guy was like, "Hey man, like I took photos of the people. They were wearing his stuff, and they're wearing his stuff, screen printing on my." I'm like, "Whoa, that's actually really cool." Like we were impactful to that point that
It was
it's past
crazy.
beyond the sales.
100%.
It's
It was
past beyond the sales.
No,
Like,
I think we didn't like. I think at the end of the week, and we were all like, "Shit!" Like,
I was
how much
shook.
did you make? I was
I
like,
was shook.
trust me, like I was
And people thought I was underselling myself.
shocked. Yeah,
They were literally telling me like, "How much is your t-shirts?" And I'm like, "Okay, if you buy it off the rack, it's $40, and if you screen print it, it's $30." They're like,
35.
"Come on, man, your prices are so low." And I'm like, "I'm not here for the prices. I just want to have a simple conversation with you,
Yeah,
and
for
I want to
sure.
give you an experience."
And
And
I-
a lot of the brands were telling me like, "Yeah, you're underselling yourself," and I'm like, "No. By the time these people walk out of here, they will not
remember you.
they won't
remember.
forget me, bro.
100%.
They will
Yeah.
remember me forever." And just because of the fact that you are being able to provide them a nice space and experience that they can't forget. And by the end of it, I walked up to him too, and he had low expectations like me. And the amount of people that did actually pull up to show love to you, saying, "Hey man, I've been following you
it was
on
crazy.
Instagram."
No, I didn't expect
Even
that,
the first
man.
day,
I
I
didn't
remember,
expect
I remember
that.
the first day you were under the pump.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then-
before
and then-
the doors open.
Yeah, you under the pump.
You
And
were
then-
stressed
but then,
there.
Hey, you, hey, Wiebo, how funny was this? When you used to come to the booth, he used to come to the booth, it'd be like, "Bro, man." But then I remember Sunday at the start. How slow was it?
Start was
Fuck,
Sunday
it
was quiet.
so bad. I
was
went
quiet.
To,
Because
I
you-
texted
he
Matt.
was coming, and I remember you came to the booth, and you're like, "Bro, so slow." And then I'm like, "Hey, let me come to your booth. I'll kick back here." And then
Yeah.
I'm like, I was just chilling with you there. But then after that, you come back 20 minutes later. You're like,
I'm
"Guys,
sorry,
I'm
but-
under the pump."
Sunday, I'm telling you, I was so tired because like the whole day screen printing takes a toll on your back
Yeah,
and arms.
man.
So
Yeah.
I was tired. So I literally sat down. I went to go get myself some food. And I'm like, "Okay, cool. You know what? Yesterday was a really good day. Today people are gonna be highlighted." Midday, like 12 o'clock,
Midday,
1
we
o'clock.
Bang.
Jesus Christ.
Bang. Like
It
we
was
didn't expect
back
any
to
of
back
that.
to back again. Like every
Yeah.
time I would leave because I was also taking photos for myself. Like I had a videographer come on, my boy. Like he's a really good. So shout out to Second Dave Media. He does all my video content. He's a really amazing creator, and he's been in the game a long time. And I really love his work. Shout out to him. He managed to capture my vision and actually being able to storytell it through a video.
Yeah.
But that day was, I don't know, it was like really shocking to see like that many people show
Really,
interest in,
yeah.
and it's all random people,
Oh.
not even, because I've had at least 50 people, like 50 of my social media friends and people that are in my life saying, "Hey man, I'm gonna be there." Cool. 5 of my friends will probably turn up, and everybody else, all randoms. And that was the most hecticest
Did you
thing.
get a chance to eat that day?
No, I actually
you?
bought lunch and I
Yeah.
ate it after I packed out while driving the van back to the location for me to drop off the
bro.
van, which was like around like 11 o'clock.
I didn't eat till probably 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I tried to like get something in.
Yeah.
Bro, I was on seltzers and water the whole day. I thought I was gonna throw up, bro.
I bought food at 11.
Yeah.
And that was from Viral
Yeah.
Foods.
God, that's crazy, man.
But yeah, man.
But you know what I think is beautiful about the whole event?
We
Is
shut
like,
it down.
Besides you shutting it down.
We shut it down, bro. All 3 of us. Hey, I'm not talking about me.
No, I'm saying all three.
Don't forget about it.
Hey,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that I think you guys got something like even better out of the event in meeting each other
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and being able to connect and get that vibe. Because that's the event. The money you guys got from the event, that's all right.
But that's why I'm saying the power of
But
Mel,
the money
that
doesn't
idea.
matter.
the experience, I'm saying that's the
Yeah.
matter. It's all right, but the experience,
Yeah, that's
and
what
then
matters.
The connection you guys made, and then now, bro, like I don't think this is something we see that quite often in like Melbourne.
Yeah.
It's like potential collabs you guys might do with each other.
Because a lot of people want to do collabs, but my biggest thing is like, what is something new that you want to bring to the scene? It's
Yeah.
like, not just slap each other's design on it and then sell it and like clout or money grabs. It's like,
Yeah.
what is something valuable and meaningful that you want to bring? So, which is like something that we've been kind of discussing into it, which is like, if we're ever going to collaborate in any type of way, it has to be something that has never done before in a way, and at the same time, it's like still,
meaning
it has a
behind it.
meaning behind
Yeah.
it, and that's why I did really resonate with
YouTube boys the most from the whole people there that I've met. Because I've walked around and said hi to a lot of the people that was there that were owning their own brands, and I was able to like really have a chat with them. But the people that I really did resonate with and kind of said, hey man, like these people kind of like got the same vision, and there's like this potential greatness in it, like was probably YouTube. But beautiful event, beautiful people, and I'm happy for that. And keep your eye out.
Hey,
We're coming through.
Yeah,
Boys,
we're
the
coming,
space dangerous.
we're coming
Hey,
in
we
hot.
gotta go.
Just
We're coming
quickly,
in hot.
before we do wrap up,
Are we wrapping up?
do you want to keep going?
Why not?
What can we, Matthias? We'll start with you.
Yep.
What can we expect in the next year from you? Not like just really like I'm dropping.
Yeah,
this. I'm
nah.
talking about like just in general. What's going on for the
I'm
next
going
year?
to be more involved in the community and more event-based stuff. So instead of just T-shirts and drops or whatever, I'm going to be hosting many more pop-ups of my own in collaboration with other creatives around Melbourne. It's going to be very, very fresh to be able to provide that type of service, especially the screen printing, because a lot of people, like, they see it online and they see it through the internet, but they never really get the chance to experience it. So I want to do collaborations with people that are going to bring that type of energy and that type of new thing over. So it's like events that are based upon providing experiences to people and to kind of like obviously inspire the youth of our community especially to do something creative and to kind of actually like push forward for that, like pass beyond the money and pass beyond the designs or whatever, something that's much more like hands-on and a bit more like emotionally attached to
I
it.
feel like a lot of people, when they start a business or when they think about starting a business, is the money. Like, everyone's like profit.
I wanna be
revenue,
known as someone that
profit,
does
revenue,
t-shirts,
Profit
yeah.
revenue. Bro,
Do
I
it for
don't-
the love.
Did you guys ever have that idea? Like, was
Nah.
it? I knew I wasn't gonna. I knew like I wasn't gonna do well at the start or anything. But still, like till this day, yeah, the money's coming through. But that doesn't make you like sure. It just goes towards the business. Right, the love now, like that means so much more than what.
I think it's just the greatness to be able to be surrounded by people. like
Facts, yeah,
you guys.
and being
'Cause
surrounded
you still
by
inspire me.
yeah.
Like I we just met, but you inspire me a lot, and you inspire me a lot, and
Bro,
that's
You
really
guys,
big
I'm
thing.
the young one here.
yeah.
Yeah, but you're
You
the
guys
OG.
inspire
You're
me.
the
You're
one.
the
You
OG,
got the
baby.
oldest- you
Don't
got the
talk to
oldest
me.
brand, cuz.
You guys inspire
All
me.
right, hey, boys. Hey, let's get off the lovey-dovey stuff. Wiebo, what
Me?
can we expect for you for Wiebored and even yourself for the
Look,
next year?
We're still fresh. We've only got a few designs out now. New designs coming out. They'll be up soon. I want to venture out into different stuff as well. I don't want to be just the tapestry jumpers. You know, they're always going to be there because they're a staple of how we started. But I want to do more different garments like shorts, pants, whatever I kind of feel like. Stuff that I want to wear. Stuff that I'm just like, that's sick. Like let me try and make
pants
that.
Would be fucking like a tapestry pant for
Yeah, see, yeah, that'd be.
So
sick,
it's just like
Okay,
honestly,
hard.
a
It's just
lot
the
of
beginning. At
a
the
lot
end
of
the
it
day
is
for
just
us.
thoughts in my head and then manifesting and being like, I want to try this. Let's see. Is it gonna work? Is it not gonna work? Get some samples, try them out. You know, see how people
Yeah.
like them. If people like them, they like them. But
it's part of the
yeah.
experience.
So
People don't. They don't.
Run it.
My guy.
You're gonna be 19 this year, yeah?
Yeah, I will be 19 this year.
What can we expect this year from you?
So I got a runway coming up this Friday. Melbourne Fashion Festival.
Melbourne Fashion Festival.
Yeah.
Hey.
Don't forget us when you get famous, yeah?
yeah.
No.
Hey,
Hey, no,
you
no.
guys
just
are coming
quickly.
up with me.
Hey, no. When you do the runway, just
Yeah.
wait for the models to come out first.
Yeah, nah.
Make sure you're in the back so they know who the designer is.
Can't mess up this one. It's big, man.
What can we expect after the Melbourne Fashion Festival?
We've got a prequel to the drop coming up, so that'll be just like colourful tracksuits, this, that. And then I'll be releasing my most anticipated collection. It's called AWOC, A World of Chaos.
Yep.
The meaning behind it's basically like we live in a world of chaos. We live in a world of chaos essentially, but we live in a world of envy, hate, love, sex, money, drugs, this, that. And the quote behind it is something along the lines of like, our world moves around so fast. Our lives are like it creates
So
chaos
chaotic,
in our
yeah.
lives, and like the whole like you look at chaos and what's chaos? It's a positive and it's a negative put together, and that's kind of what the whole collection is about. It's about, you know, like everything on that piece looks like chaos, but it's actually pieced together properly. You know, like I just released the ski masks, and that was more so just a simple minimal pieces until the actual collection. And then after that, I'm probably gonna be doing, you know, I want to be working with Wiebored. I'm definitely gonna work with Senpai as well.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying. I want to do much more events.
Yeah.
And
He's
to
more
do
focused on the
these,
event thing. Yeah.
Actually highlight people like you. So it's just like I wanted to come together with like-minded people and
Facts.
bring something new each
Yeah.
time. So even if it's like going to be like once a month at least, where we can highlight Melbourne's culture, highlight our own culture, and just provide an experience in collaboration with these boys. And this is going to be something very new, and it's going to be something very fresh,
Yeah,
and it's going to be
yeah.
something much more connective to the community. So we can even be doing like random screen printing workshop pop-ups in the beach. You know what I mean? Like pulling up saying Kia ora, big
No,
van.
I mean like that's the
That's
thing.
tough.
It's like I mean we discussed this as well, like a pop up in one spot, just us three. You know,
100%.
you know, like it's like these ideas. I'm definitely planning on doing like my own kind of like pop up for a collection, because I want to, you know, set the scene of like fire, and like the whole idea is still like coming together. But like, yeah, I mean, I'm turning 19. I'm still in uni. Still got to get my degree.
We're still young, man.
Yeah,
all of
there's a
us.
lot. There's a lot to come. I got another and then after AWOC, probably another collection, some more runway pieces. Definitely gonna be doing like a lot more focusing on like the couture side of things now. So we're gonna be looking at handbags very soon.
Nice.
Changing like the glasses, the quality of
I wanted the
everything.
chain,
Yeah.
man.
I'm dropping chains.
Man, I've been
Yeah,
waiting for
chains
that
are
chain. I
coming.
told you
Chains
take it
are
off your
coming.
neck. I'll have it right
I
now.
got you guys on the
Jesus
chains,
Christ.
man. Yeah,
Drop
so-
your chain.
So I'm definitely gonna be relaunching the chains. But yeah,
You know,
man.
what? One thing I think I learned from this episode, from what you guys all explained, is, cause I just thought clothes was clothes. I'll be real with you.
It is clothes.
But
Clothes are
one
just
thing
clothes.
I learned, and I think our viewers that want to get into clothing need to learn, is what story are you telling? What story are you telling the people that want to buy the stuff?
Yeah.
What are you telling the people that you know what I mean? Like when you're designing it, what's that story you're telling with that design?
It has to have meaning behind it.
It has
Otherwise,
to.
it won't be felt by
It
anyone.
has to. I like, and like people are gonna like. I could put Immortal Fate on a I could put the star logo on a t-shirt. Sure, it can do numbers. What's the meaning behind it? It's a logo. There's no there's nothing like signifying like, oh shit, this logo. I mean, the logo does mean something, but like at the end of the day, who the fuck's gonna know? You know?
100%.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing, is that he gives a nostalgic vibe. He also gives a nostalgic vibe, but he incorporates the community, and I just tell a story. Like through my pieces, I just kind of just, you know, I execute ways of my life and how I like. Some of them are going to be like how I grew up, and that's kind of what AWOC
As long
is.
as you can
It's a
like
world of
understand that
chaos.
people won't resonate with it, you're cool. Like at the end of
Yeah.
the day, just understand that not everybody needs to fuck with your shit. and that's
Literally.
You
cool.
can't
man.
make something for everyone. Like
Oh yeah,
literally
100%,
can't.
100%.
I
Like,
know everyone's gonna buy it.
Do
That's
your
it.
own thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just do your own thing. Tell your own story, and by in that process, just know you will attract some people. And
100%. And you know
as
what's
long as
even
you do
crazy?
something
People will love
valuable.
this stuff. They'll be like, yo, I love the design, but still won't buy it.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Shit. But like at the end of the day, someone telling you, "Oh, I fuck with your stuff," still okay. Like it's a $60 t-shirt. Yeah. If someone says they fuck with your stuff and they want to buy it, that means 10 times more to me. I mean, to you two probably as well than a sale.
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
sure, like $150, $65, you got $40 there. But like someone genuinely coming to your DMs, you acknowledging that DM, it shows like there's so much more gratification. There's so much gratitude in that conversation, and there's so much more love in that conversation than someone being like, "Hey, I love your stuff. I'm gonna buy something." You know, I respect anyone that comes to my DMs personally, and like our DMs are followed all the time. Like you guys definitely
you're
I
on
know,
point,
like,
man. 5 seconds into
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
He's
It's just like
100%.
scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, but like. At the end of the day, you see that one message, it's like, "Hey man, I really like
It
your
motivates
stuff."
you.
Yeah.
Even for us, man. Someone saying, "Yo, I love that episode." You know,
Yeah.
episode inspired me.
I think-
Yeah.
I love that. You know, and I love people reaching out and telling me that. You know, it motivates me. It's not the reason I'm doing it, but
Yeah.
it motivates me.
I think the way we should even end this is like it's gonna be pretty much like say thank you to every single person that has put a positive word, has invested into us,
Yeah,
or even
man.
gave us any recommendations.
Honestly,
like,
like
huge shout out to my friends that even come down to these pop-ups and help me set up, go home, make a little comment here and there. It's just like all those little positive reinforcements are what keeps us going. And in a way, it's like, it's also like you might not see it as something very big, but in my heart, I really do appreciate it. And I'm pretty sure everybody else here
100%.
does.
Weeb, what do you got to say?
I don't even know, bro. Just I feel bad for these guys. They went through the struggle, and I feel like
No.
I feel like I'm lucky as I just got to come up. Ego, thank you so much.
Thanks for the shortcut.
But I'll be honest with you, like, I fuck with my bro stuff. I'm still yet to purchase like a piece, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh,
But it's
bro,
just like
I
it's
had
the
to
love
grab
that you
one.
give that actually
Yeah.
still makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Nah,
100%.
like
Yeah.
it's just, bro. Even like people, they just go through their stories, and bro, it takes them. Some people 2 seconds. They just like react to your story.
Yeah.
But that
Bro, it means
that
a lot.
support means like a bunch to us. You, know, you go through your story replies, all these people saying all this stuff. Like, thanks to all of you that like it. And
yeah.
just be on the watch. You know?
Whoever
They're
likes,
coming up.
comments, shares, any
Right.
type of love,
Yeah.
baby.
What do you got to say, Kaz?
I mean, I appreciate everyone that supports the Fate. At the end of the day, like, yeah, I'm young, but like at the same time, like there's so much love shown towards us. And shout out to my parents, my family, my sister especially, Manny, and yeah, like anyone that really like just fucks with the Fate, because at the end of the day, like now you've kind of heard the story of the come up and how everything actually came to be, you know.
100%.
Shit wasn't easy, but
Yeah.
you know, like that's just how it is.
All our viewers, he's 18 years old. Like, Kaz, it's still sinking in. He's 18 years old. Matthias turned his whole life around with this. People think it's little stuff, you know. You might see his page, it's like it's not a big deal. But until, you know, they jump on a platform like this and tell their stories, you get an idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
And how powerful this is and how powerful the clothing brand,
Yeah.
even just a simple clothing brand could be. And it could be on yourself. So maybe even look for something that you love, find a passion, and that could be something that changes
Music,
your life.
art,
Whatever it is.
dancing, whatever it is.
Bro, if you have a passion for something,
Do it.
fucking do it, man. Like, and this
Just
is coming from
do
someone
it.
like, bro, I mean, yeah, shit. Like, you do it in high school, you're gonna cop shit. Unless you have a good circle of friends, you're gonna cop shit. But still do it, man. Like, if you really want to start that clothing line, if you really want to be an artist, if you want to start music or whatever the fuck you want to do it. Because
100%.
like,
And
at
stay
the end of the day,
consistent.
stay consistent. Because if you're not consistent, there's no point.
You wash out.
There's no point. You're gonna wash out, and you're gonna look back, and you're gonna be like, "Oh wow, I could have done that." Now I'm looking at this guy that actually did it.
And you watch it from the sidelines.
Yeah.
And Wiebo, you know, I watched you from the sidelines. It's been a privilege watching you.
Thank you.
And the thing is, people don't see the grind you do. You know what I mean? Like,
hard
bro,
grind.
I live with this guy. You know, bro. This guy stays till 2 a.m. sewing, bro.
Yeah.
And I can just see the machine go. Tick, 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 tick. And this guy knows how much of a light sleeper I am. But it's crazy, man.
But when
You
you
know
do
what
work for yourself and you invest into yourself, it's a 24-hour grind.
Shout out Jay, shout out Mibrak. They've been there along the way as well, helping
Hey,
out
hey,
with
hey, hey,
everything.
hey.
Shout out.
Shout out to our boy Jay.
Who was the guy? Who was the guy working the booth as well?
Yeah,
Jay.
Shout out Jay, man.
Jay.
Dope guy, bro.
Hey, this guy might be the face or whatever, but Jay's carrying the
Hey,
Jay's
and
the funny.
also, shout out Tariq and shout out Miles on Senpai's
yeah,
and bro,
definitely.
they like those guys are with him from
They're my
the
day ones.
get-go.
Miles been
nah,
with me
for
since high
real,
school.
man.
Like,
Yeah.
even when I went through all my
Yeah.
shit, he never excluded me. He's always showed love. He's always included me into everything that we've done. So it's like, you know, I really do appreciate
And that's
my
what you
close
want,
friends.
man,
Lydia
like-
too. Lydia was there. Lydia Tasamba, she was
Lydia,
there.
hey, we
Yeah.
might get Lydia on soon.
Yeah.
Talking
She's
to
a really
her.
bright lady. She
Nah,
runs a
she's
platform called Below the
amazing.
Surface.
Below the Surface,
She's
yeah.
amazing. She really did inspire me to start my own thing too. So, huge shout out to you, Lydia, my sister, and I think that's pretty much it. Like,
Since
one
we're
of
doing
those
shout outs to all our viewers that have been showing us love,
Mhm.
all our people that are following us on social media, all the people that watch our content. Let me start again. Hey, make sure you guys all like, subscribe,
Yeah,
get
man.
around that page. Go
Yeah,
check out
man.
their page, Senpai. I'm gonna put your links below. Immortal Fate, check out the links
Appreciate
below.
it, man.
And yo, thank you guys for watching this episode. And if you guys are listening on the audio podcast, make sure to hit us with that follow if you're on the Apple Music, Apple Podcast, or Spotify. And besides that, I think we should wrap up with stay humble. Hey.
See, I'm trying to call me and all, but it's only one of me. If I came in this world alone, why I get lonely? Can someone come unthaw my heart? I think it's frozen.